Yeah, like firsthand experiences, right? What makes forgiveness especially difficult? It's when you know that somebody has hurt you, or you really know that somebody has said something about you, or somebody has been dishonest about you, or somebody has said something that might not be true, or even somebody says something that is true, but that God has already forgiven you for, and they're throwing it in your face all the time, right? It's like I don't know, it was the last time or the time before, but when we spoke about the prostitute that was on the table, and one of the other girls wanted to call her by her old name of when she was a prostitute, kind of like to bring her down, right? And say, "Oh, you so and so, because remember who you were." So to me, I think that's one of the hardest times where I find forgiveness to be hard, where when I'm being pointed out, when my mistakes are being pointed out, or things that I've let go of, it's really hard for me to forgive because I'm just like everybody else, I'm feeling judged, right? And I'm feeling like you're calling me by who I used to be. You're judging me about what I used to do. You're not seeing who I am now. And I think that for me is when I see that forgiveness is hard for me, or when I try to tell somebody something in love and they come at me like, no, I'm doing it like this because of this. Or a perfect example, like just recently, I was having a conversation with somebody and I was just telling them, hey, next time you're asked to do something, don't be so quick to say yes and do a person that favor, because sometimes you're put in situations that somebody's asking you for a favor and you're a good person and you're willing, oh yeah, I'll go do that with you. However, that situation could have put you in danger. I'm trying to tell this person in love, saying, hey, listen, I'm glad you did that for the person, but don't be so quick to do that or join somebody doing that, because you don't know if that can harm your life, or if something happened to you just because you're going with that person. Which, so crazy, brings me back to the story of the last chapter of the father, that the friends left together from church,
Mhm.
and he left with two friends that he hung out with at church, and then he got killed because they went and did a drug deal. Perhaps the kid had no intention, right, of going. The example I'm giving is somebody, was asked, hey, can you go with me? Because I need to serve papers on this person because they don't want to pay me because we had an accident, this and that and the other. And it sounds like something innocent. And I know there's process. I work in a law firm, as you do, and we know there's process servers all the time. But you and I know that process servers are in a lot of danger sometimes, especially if the person knows that somebody's trying to serve them. So sometimes by you grabbing somebody that's inexperienced, putting them in and asking them, hey, come with me because I need to serve this person, or I need to go confront this situation. And because you're a good soul and you want to go help them, well, you don't know what that situation can lead you to, you know?
Exactly.
And sometimes when I'm trying to give advice like that, let's say the person might come at me like, I please, but everything went fine, so calm down. And then I start getting angry, and I start thinking, you know what? Why am I even giving you this advice? And again, it came out of love, but sometimes I do come out very motherly, I think, or maybe harsh. And it's because I am an older sister. I am the first granddaughter on my father's side. And I have a little brother. He's not so little, just 2 years younger than me, but to me, he's my little brother, right? And I've always been in roles, even with my mom growing up, because she was a Spanish speaker and came to this country. She relied a lot on me, and I thank her till this day because it made me who I am. It made me be the person I am at work today, because my mom would make me call credit card companies, call banks, preguntarles esto, decirles esto, right? So I always, believe it or not, as the older sisters, we grew up a lot faster. There were things that we had to learn. We had to be responsible, right?
Mhm.
So I think that sometimes it's hard for me to forgive people when I'm coming from a good place and then they like attack me. And then I feel like I get angry and then I don't want to forgive. And then I kind of hold back and stop talking to the person for a little bit until I take control of my emotions. So I guess I feel forgiveness is hard when people might talk about me or bring my past, and when people come at me aggressively when I'm trying to help out of pure love. But it might just be that I'm on a journey to learn as well how to speak to others, how to maybe not be too harsh, or how to maybe when I do say something and somebody gets defensive, don't take it so to heart, relax,
100%.
and continue. So that's the answer for me on number 7. And I think I was supposed to let you answer it first and I answered it.
No, no, you were supposed to answer it first. I hear good.
Okay, okay.
So the question again is like, what situations make forgiveness especially difficult? And I think that what you're saying is 100% true, that a lot of the times the deepest wounds usually come from the people that are closest to us, right? Because they know a lot about our lives or they've seen our lives and things like that. So when they call us out, how you were saying, out of our sin or our past, it's hurtful because now you're reopening wounds. And throughout the first 4 chapters of this book, you know, she talked about pretty crazy situations that included abuse, betrayal, abandonment, and even things with Corey ten Boom's story. Like that was just horrible. And for us in our lives, we may have experienced things that are like really painful, like abandonment, betrayal, abuse, rejection, people talking bad about us, people breaking our trust. These are not small things. And I think the important thing is that if I look at it at its face value, it will be 100 for me to forgive people who have put me in these situations or have caused these situations in my life because my flesh wants to replay over and over. But when I look to Jesus, he can relate to me, right? Because it says that we do not have a high priest that is not able to sympathize with our weaknesses. And also it goes on to say that he was tempted in all forms, all ways he was tempted, but he didn't sin. So Jesus understands betrayal. He was betrayed by those that were closest to him.
And him not doing anything wrong, right? Because we are just
His
as sinful as the
disciples
people that
sold
betray us. Yeah.
yeah, Judas sold him. His friends abandoned him. Peter denied him 3 times, His own people rejected him, and yet he forgave them, bro. That
He
is
was on
so
the cross, bleeding,
Yeah,
dying, and still
that's, like,
his last
so
words were, for
mind-boggling. So
forgiveness.
when I look at it like that, forgiveness doesn't seem so hard, but when I look at it through my own pain and woe is me and look what they did to me and I'm never gonna let it go and I'm gonna hold on to this forever, then yeah, it's gonna feel impossible to forgive someone because I'm relying on my emotions. But if I'm looking to the cross and I'm looking to Jesus and I'm looking at what he forgave and the debt he already paid to cancel out that sin, then I don't see it as impossible.
Exactly. That's a good thing to always reflect on, right? Like you said, it makes it that much easier when we think, wait a minute, Jesus is always forgiving us and he forgave us even up to his last breath, even how you said when he didn't even do anything wrong. And here we are just as sinful as anybody else, right? Just as wrong as anybody else. And we find it so hard. So we just have to be the example, right? Through Jesus. We have to live by that example. So that's just a great reminder that when we are finding it hard, just focus on Jesus.
Yep, absolutely.